ever notice how all of a sudden the narcissist just comes out of nowhere with these accusations? All of a sudden they're pointing the finger at you. And you just don't understand, where is this coming from? What have you done? What have you said? And sometimes they will specifically call you out on certain words or certain things that you have done. And you just can't trace it back to when this even took place, when this actually happened. And so it can be very confusing for you. But they really believe with full conviction that you did say that. That is what you did. They really have to believe it. They have to gaslight themselves. But clearly, this is occupying a space in their minds. So they are thinking about it, whether consciously or subconsciously. These thoughts exist in their minds about you. But it's something that they are using as a defense to protect themselves. And it is a result of their own insecurities. And that's how you may notice that these accusations, they actually sound quite familiar to what has been done or said to you by them. And that isn't a coincidence. And we are going to go through some specific examples to really reveal to you of how they twist these things in their minds. And it's really of a result of insecurity and a desire to avoid experiencing the feelings of guilt or shame that would otherwise come along with it. So essentially, they accuse you to escape the shame that they would otherwise feel themselves. So as an example, they might just come out and say, "You're cheating on me," which is just a pure projection of their own impulses. And here's the interesting thing about it. Because they do it, or because they know that they are capable of doing it, they assume that the same thing is true for you. And this is why you see them panicking, becoming very paranoid, hypervigilant, and even going all out to monitor you, stalk you, know your whereabouts. And it's often because they've already done it, or they've already had the thought of doing it themselves. And yet, they don't want to deal with the guilt or shame that comes along with this. And so they gaslight themselves and they tell themselves that it is you. So when you see them acting so crazy, this is how they end up that way. It's because they're doing it themselves. Their accusations are actually their confessions. And that's why they always want you, specifically you, more than anyone else, they want you to be in a state of confusion. They want to deprive you of your sense of self, of your clear mind. Because otherwise, you're not going to so willingly accept everything that they're throwing at you. And instead, you're going to project it back where it belongs. And you're going to see it in them, everything that they're accusing you of. So that's why they have to gaslight you. They have to confuse you. They have to twist your reality and just lie about everything in order to protect themselves. And not only that, they'll tell everyone. The narcissist in your life may have cheated on you dozens of times. And you may never have cheated on them, never even thought of doing that. But all of a sudden, they go around telling everyone, look, he, she is a cheater. They cheated on me. And to you, this just may sound so confusing. It can just cause you to lose touch with reality, and with the person who you really are. Because it's all coming from their insecurity, and that gives them this desire to control the narrative and to label you as a cheater, even though you were never that way. And here's the crazy thing about it, is that typically you are likely to have been the exact opposite of what they're accusing you of and of what they've been doing to you. So you were likely a very honest, loyal, committed person. That's the really sad thing about this, because this is what they do. They take the people with the best qualities and then they dump all of their toxic behaviors onto you and brainwash you into believing that that's you. To the point where you start to feel like you're the crazy, confused, abusive, toxic person. And you don't ever doubt them. You don't ever see it as though they're doing something wrong, even while they're continuing to abuse you, lie, project everything onto you, make you accountable for everything, dump all of the duty and responsibility onto you. And not only that, but also smear your name and convince everyone that you are the problem. And yet you're just looking at yourself after you've given everything, you sacrifice your life for them. And you're questioning yourself, thinking, oh, I should have done more for them. I'm such a bad person. This is the same thing that happens every time. It's not just you, you're not alone. They screw people up in the mind. They turn people against themselves, good people. And then they go off feeling like they're this good, righteous person who was wronged by you. That's why, what do when they leave you? They play the victim to the next person. They tell the next person you're crazy, obsessed, a stalker, an abuser. You're the narcissist. And sadly, unfortunately, many narcissists even utilize the law. They engage in legal or financial manipulation. They can get you arrested. They can get you locked up. They can get you in a lot of trouble for something you haven't even done. And actually, for the very things that you tolerated from them for such a long time. And yet they will get you in trouble for that. When your character, your nature is the exact opposite of that. But also, let's not forget, they depress you. They make your life hell. A desperate man will clutch at a straw. And once they've brought you right down, they will then give you that straw. And that straw may be a bottle. It may be a recreational drug. Or something else that is illegal or immoral. And then they will blame and shame you, and they will tell everyone about it. This is what they do. Master manipulators. And this is it. Yes, you may engage in certain unacceptable acts while you are under their influence and control, but that's not really you. That's what they turned you into, forced you to become. Because what other option did you have? And they also brainwash you into seeing it as acceptable. And they're your only source of influence. They've isolated you. This is why after you leave them or after they discard you, the first thing they got to do is go and smear your name. Tell everyone about it. Get everyone to be very offensive to you. And further reinforcing these beliefs, these false beliefs, these false attitudes about yourself. So that it keeps you stuck in that state. Essentially a false character that they've imposed onto you. A person that you never were. And this is how victims, after leaving the narcissist, they stay stuck. Still drinking alcohol every day. Still using recreational drugs. And it's because that's exactly what the narcissist wants. They don't want anything else for you. They don't want you to find something better. And this is how they really limit, restrict you, imprison you, confine you, trap you. And it's all just one big projection. Because if you look back, you will see the very things they're accusing you of, or smearing you about, those are the very things that they did to you. Those are the very things they said to you. And now they're making it out like you're the problem. You see how it's all lies? And yet, the crazy thing is, many of them actually believe it. They gaslight themselves. So yeah, they may say, you're cheating on me. They flip the script because admitting faults would shatter their grandiosity. Because they know the difference between right and wrong. They know that if they cheated on you, that doesn't make them look good. They may say, you're lying. And that's because exposing their lies would threaten their false image. So then they define you, they label you as a liar to protect themselves. When really it's all coming from insecurity. They know that they are the ones who have been lying to you and lying to everyone. So they blame you to avoid the guilt, to avoid feeling bad about their actions and feeling like they're a bad person. But don't mistake that for empathy or compassion. They don't actually feel bad for hurting you. Their feelings are all about themselves. Their self-image is very fragile. It doesn't take much to make them shapeshift, to make them become something else. They are loose cannons. And that's how they want to make it that way for you. You know, they trigger you in all kinds of ways. They mold you, groom you. That's because they are already that way. And they feel very uncomfortable with your stable, fixed self-image. That makes them feel insecure. So of course, that's the first thing they target. So that you don't get the chance to destabilize them. And that's really it. They're seeking a sense of stability and security from you. By destabilizing your self-image, it makes theirs feel more secure. And that's how you know that anyone who does these kinds of things to you lacks a stable sense of identity. They don't know who they are. And that's how they don't even know who you are. Because this is it. Two people who both have a strong sense of self in any interaction or engagement. They can see each other very well. They can see each other very clearly. They know exactly who the other person is. And that's why it's the very thing the narcissist has to target when they get involved with you. Making you not know who you are so that you don't see through them. So yeah, they don't feel bad for hurting you. They don't care about you. Their feelings are only for themselves. They feel depleted. They feel depressed. It's all just about making them feel better about themselves. And that's what they use you for as their source of supply. Is to get you to validate this false narrative, this false reality, so that they can feel better at your expense. So essentially, they dump all of the blame, all of the responsibility, all of the accusations onto you, and then they feel clean. They feel pure. Because they've just ran you through the mud. This is what they do. It's like politics, mudslinging. They dump all of the dirt onto you and then they feel clean themselves. Because otherwise, the opposite would happen. After all of the horrible things that they have done to you, they're the ones who would feel insecure. They're the ones who wouldn't feel good about themselves. So that's why they're so quick to accuse you before you accuse them. And that's it, the moment, the very moment that they see, after all of those months, all of those years, you're waking up. You're no longer in the fog, you're seeing them clearly. The very moment that that happens, what do? They accuse you. They smear you. Because they're feeling insecure about all of the skeletons in their closets, everything they did to you, everything they put you through. The last thing they want is for that to come out. The last thing they want is for you to be confident in going out and telling people, revealing to people what's been done to you for all of that time. And the last thing they want is people believing you, because that would destroy them. So that's why the moment they know that you're waking up, you've caught on, straight away they go to just accusing you, projecting everything onto you, blaming you, and getting everyone to believe it. Because they know it's either you or them. They know that if you go out into the world and you start revealing to people everything that they've done, they're screwed. Their life is over at that point. So that's why these accusations just appear to come out of nowhere. Because your mind is clearing. You're no longer in self-doubt. You're thinking more rationally about everything they've done and how good, how loyal you were to them. And they can see it, they can sense it immediately. Their supply is extremely important, their self-image. So immediately they sense any potential threats. They have to. Think about it. Think about it like this, right? If the narcissists in this world were not constantly scanning their environment for threats, such as from their sources of supply, who could be waking up to the truth about how they've been treated, how they've been wronged. If the narcissists in this world were not constantly scanning their environment for these threats, there wouldn't be any narcissists. So that's how you know that's exactly what happened with you. Is that you were waking up from this fog. You were coming out of it. It was clear in your mind and you were starting to see that they were the problem all along. Here's another one. They may say, "You're so selfish." When really it's their own lack of empathy on display. They are the ones who are selfish and they know it. They know they're very greedy. Their accusations are a defense against feeling defective or exposed. "You're manipulating me." A confession disguised as an attack. They dump their shame onto you so they don't have to feel it internally. every accusation is really a mirror of what they're doing behind the scenes. And this is it, they want to confuse everything, they want to groom you, they want to tarnish people's perceptions of you, get people to see you differently, so that you get a different mirror reflection of yourself, because they don't want to see you. They don't want anyone else to see you. And of course, what better way to make that happen than if you can't even see yourself as the good, loyal person that you were. So essentially, they want to bury you. They just want you to be gone. They want to destroy you, kill you. Because it's making them feel insecure. It's reminding them of who they are. And so they get you into the wrong things. They get you caught up in drugs, alcohol, anything to make you look bad and to make you feel bad and to make you feel like that's who you are. They screw your mind up, everything, so that they don't have to feel insecure about it. They don't have to feel regrets, like they've lost something. That's why they destroy you before they leave. So that they don't feel regret, and then there's no threat to them moving on. They want to leave you broken, destroyed, ruined. Nothing like the person you used to be. Because that's the only way they can feel better. And yeah, how do they feel when they've ran you down, when they've destroyed you? They feel satisfied. Before that, it was like an itch that they couldn't scratch. It was very uncomfortable for them. They were feeling defective, exposed. But once they've done those things to you, now they experience some relief. They feel better. Now they can point the finger at you. It's like, oh no, it's you. You're in the mud now. You're the one who's dirty. My self-image is clean. And it's looking sparkling, shining new now. Now that I've dumped everything onto you. This is what it is. It's just like in politics. It's mudslinging. They sling all of the mud onto you so that you look like the one who is bad or wrong. And then it makes them look and feel better. And they get everyone else to join in. They get everyone else to do it too. To just make you look like a fool. To ruin you. And think, how is this possible? How this is possible is because this world and the people in it are fake. Everything is fake in this world. Just look around, politicians, celebrities, governments. They're all fake, they're all corrupt. Everywhere in the world. So that's how it's so easy for them to get so many people in to corrupt you and destroy you. Break you. Because so many people are like this. And they've all got skeletons in the closet. They've all got things they want to hide, often the very things they're accusing you of. It's no different to the P. Diddy case or Epstein. Now, I'm not saying that those weren't bad people. Or even not to say that they're bad people, but the things that they did weren't bad. Of course, those are bad things to do. Very inconsiderate of how they were treating people, of course. But let's not forget, these are just two people. Think of how many other people were involved. And they didn't get into any trouble. Their reputations weren't ruined. So you see how it's all a cover-up. They scapegoat you. And what makes it worse is that you didn't do anything wrong. You sacrificed everything for them. And yeah, it's like they make you the Epstein or the P. Diddy in that situation. This is what they do, and it's all to save themselves. But all of these people who are involved, they're all fake, they're all corrupt. None of them are good people. Good people, they don't get involved in that. Good people, they will dig deep to find out the truth, and not the half-truth. They're not just going to pick and choose what sounds good, what feels good to them. This is what narcissists do because they are fake. They're very biased. And that's why, you know, once you've had enough, once you've woken up, they just put it all onto you. Everything's your fault. You're to blame for everything now. It's just all you. Nothing to do with them. They had no involvement, no participation. They weren't doing any of the things that they're accusing you of. It's all on you. When actually, anything that you even did wrong in that situation really wasn't even your fault. Because the entire time you were under their influence and control. They were in a position of power and authority over you. You were groomed. When a person is groomed, when a person is brainwashed, you're under mind control. You can't control your thoughts, feelings, actions. You can't. And that's what they did to you. They brainwashed you, groomed you. And this is how you should not blame yourself, you know, for the reactive abuse. Of course, take personal responsibility to correct it. No one else is going to do that for us. No one else can. Only we can correct it. No one else has the power to do that. It's our duty to heal. But the truth is, and I've gone back and forth on this over the years, but the truth is it wasn't your fault. You were groomed, you were brainwashed, you were trapped, cornered, with no other option. And yet you still have these normal human needs, a sense of safety, comfort, financial needs. You had to stay with them under their control for your survival. So you are not to blame. And it's just like in the case with P. Diddy and Cassie. If what has been revealed is actually true in that case, about what Cassie said. When she was doing all of the freak off, she was groomed. And she's not to blame for that. She shouldn't feel bad about it. This is what these sick people will do to you. They will groom you, brainwash you, and then blame and shame you, smear you. So, you got to let that go, you know. If you did engage in reactive abuse, if you got mad at them, accept it, take personal responsibility, but recognize, you know, you were under their influence and control. They had power and authority over you. And we know, you know, in behavioral science, it does show that people will do anything that authority tells them to do. Behavior expert Chase Hughes has said this himself. He's on YouTube with, he has a few million subscribers from the behavior panel. He said it himself. People will do anything authority tells them to do. Essentially, when you're under the authority of someone else, you are being indoctrinated. You are being brainwashed to some degree. It is mind control. And in some cases, like with the CIA, people were made to kill people in a lab. Because people will do anything that authority tells them to do. And the narcissists, they provoked fear, shame in you. They were in this authoritative position over you. This is what they do. It's crazy. And you can look into it yourself. The studies, the behavioral science. Many of us, all of us really, I mean, no one is immune to this. There is no person in the world who cannot be groomed, brainwashed. Even if you're aware of it, you're still susceptible. And that's what they did to us. They groomed us. And then they accused us of the very things that they were doing. They're entirely delusional. They're not in reality. So, if you got mad, if you lashed out at the narcissist, don't put all of the blame on yourself, you know. They were the authority over you in that situation. They groomed you. And as an example, you know, I can reveal one way that they do this in this video. They will provoke you, push and provoke you to no ends. They'll keep going and going and going. And if you try to walk away, if you're trying to leave, they might block the doorway. If you go out the door, they will follow you. They will call you, text you, and keep poking at you until you finally give them the reaction they want, until you finally snap, until you lose it. Once they've got you, once you lose it, what do? They calm down. You see how this is training your mind. You learn, okay, all I've got to do is get angry. All I've got to do is lose it. Lash out at them. Then I'll get some peace. Then I can feel safe. Whether you're consciously thinking about it or not, doesn't matter. Your subconscious mind is being trained, and there's nothing you can do about it. Because they are your sole source of influence. They don't allow anyone else to be around you. So this is how they groom you, by isolating you. Because if you have other sources that you can trust, then their influence won't be so strong. And they brainwash you, and they're going to keep you in that state so they can continue living in their simulation, their false reality. That's what this is about. That's why they break you and then they keep you down. And that's why they can't find satisfaction in anything. Because it's all a lie, it's all fake. They're disconnected from themselves. They're disconnected from their emotions. And the only way that they can feel safe, the only way they can feel comfortable, is by disconnecting you. The moment they disconnect you, they feel more connected to something, to a false self. It isn't real, because it's all based on lies. They can't even talk about the truth with you. They can't even be honest about the things that they've done. You can. And that's what got you into trouble with them, is that you're very open, very honest about how things are, about how you reacted. Yeah, they weaponize all of that against you. But they're not ever coming out and revealing the things they've done. They never will. Because they know themselves that it's a simulation, it's a false reality. But hey, you know, I'm not saying that we should lie, we should hide, and we should stay in the false reality. No, we're meant for a greater purpose. We're meant to be honest, authentic, at a high vibration of acceptance and love. That's where we're meant to be, because we are meant for more. So let them continue being fake. Let them continue being the manipulative liars that they are. It's not going to get them anywhere. They're never going to find peace. They're never going to find happiness. And that's why they'll always come back and try and destroy yours. Because they're never going to find it in any direction that they go. Any direction that they go in, it will always lead themselves back to you. Because that's where their peace lies. Within you. Within being honest and open with you. Giving you closure. Trying to correct the situation. Compensating for their wrongdoings. Giving love. Contributing to the world. And being genuine, sincere about it. That's where their peace lies. And of course, that's something they're never going to do. They're never going to find peace. And so they want to destroy yours for that reason. But yeah, I just hate fake people. I hate people who lie. I hate people who manipulate. Just be honest. And if you have an anger issue, an issue with self-discipline, self-control, then work on it. Do something about it. But then also, let's not forget, it's society, because as I mentioned before, we label these people, we alienate them. Why would they ever seek help? Just to be seen as the horrible person that they are. Just to have their reputation destroyed and lose everything. So there's no incentive for them to do that. And so society is the problem as well. As I've said before, we should not alienate these people. By doing that, we're giving our power away. We have to assert our authority and control over them. Or authorities and medical professionals need to do that. To regain control over it. And then we can actually do something about it. If you're alienating these people, if you're labeling them, it's not helpful. It really isn't. Of course, we do that to educate ourselves. But it is important to move past the label and realize these are just traumatized people. They're really messed up. And that's how they mess us up. They screw our minds up. They ruin our peace because there's no peace within them. Sad thing is, though, I think a lot of people are moving past the education on narcissism. They're moving past that now, and so I don't think anything's going to get resolved. Anything's going to move forward with this. And instead, it really looks like narcissism is going to increase in the world. It's going to get a lot worse. There are no signs of it getting any better. So, all I can recommend is that we keep our circles small and just don't trust people so easily. You can't really trust anyone these days. I mean, never really fully trust anyone. But yeah, this is how it goes, These videos on YouTube, it's all been dominated now by algorithms. It's all just this generic information that's been put out. Nothing deeper. Nothing more meaningful with substance. It's all just superficial. A lot of these creators these days, they're not really passionate about this topic. They don't really want to make this world better. They just want to make a quick buck. But this is how it is, and this is how the world has always been. Whenever something real actually comes out, something authentic, they turn it into something fake. They do this with celebrities, actors, singers. They do it to all of them. It's always been that way, and it's always gonna be that way. And anyone who tries to stay true to the person that they actually are, they're gonna become irrelevant. They're gonna be forgotten. Because there is not a demand for that in this world. Most people are fake. Most people want to escape. They want to disconnect from themselves. They don't want to watch a video, listen to a song, watch a movie to connect back to themselves. They're trying to run away. This is the problem. But as for me, I'm going to continue putting out these truths for those who need it. And for those who want to connect back to themselves. And of course, we do that by practicing acceptance. As for these narcissists, any narcissistic people in the world, first thing they're going to try and do anytime they get around you is disconnect you from yourself. And if you're already disconnected, they're not going to be coming in thinking, oh, let me be the one to connect you back. That's not going to serve them in any way because they're not ready to accept themselves. They're trying to run away, and that's why they need supply. So that's all they're ever really going to do. But by you being alone, you will find peace. You can connect back to yourself. Something they'll never be able to do. But yeah. As you can see, I'm just out here at this park today. I've seen a few lizards walking around. Made me smile. Can't see any lizards here now. But it's interesting, you know, when you go to a different country, you see all of the different wildlife, like the lizards, the birds. But yeah, the narcissist didn't get the best of you. And all you got to do to know that, just look at the unrest that it has caused you by being around this person. Look at what they did to you, to your life. That's all of the proof that you need that they're never going to be at rest. They're never going to find peace. A person who could have that type of effect on you. I mean, what do they do? Did they make you smile? Did they make you laugh? Were you excited? Were you feeling good all the time? Were you having a good time every day? No. You weren't. You were suffering every day. There's no way that that type of person will ever find peace, ever be happy. Someone who can do that to you. Now, if you're around someone every day, 7 days a week, and all the time they're making you feel good, making you feel happy, that type of person, of course, even if one day you part ways, they're still going to be good. They're still going to be happy wherever they go. And you know that because of how they made you feel. Especially if you still felt good afterwards. And with these narcissists, sociopaths, psychopaths, sometimes they can make you feel good in the moment, but then you feel a lot worse afterwards. You're disconnected from yourself. You're left feeling confused. How a person makes you feel in the moment, and not only that, but how you feel afterwards, it can make you a psychic of where they're going to go, how their life is going to turn out, how they're going to feel most of the time. Unless, of course, they're affected by some external circumstance or influence, such as other people. We see this in gang stalking harassment. And of course, you know, usually the reason why they target people in gang stalking is because they know that without their influence, without their intervention, you would be good, you would be at peace. And they won't find that anywhere. They get to feel a slightly bit better by destroying your peace. Again, it tells you everything you need to know. I mean, you just remind yourself, was I smiling every day? Was I laughing every day? Was I happy every day? Was I feeling good about myself, at peace? Knowing who I am, my achievements, my accomplishments, the person that I am. Was that a good feeling for me? It tells you everything you need to know about them. About how they are in their minds, emotionally, and where they're going to end up. And yeah, my job in this channel is to bring you peace, clarity, relieve your confusion, and just give you the truth. But yeah, John Doe says, not with their boot on your head, hard to feel peace. But, you know, they don't see it that way because they lack self-awareness. That's like the main trait of a narcissist. Many of them, they're in denial. They don't see themselves as they actually are. They see it as though it's all you. As though this is happening internally within you. Not as though you're being affected by an outside source. But yeah, that's why they target you. It's because of your happiness, your peace. They can see that you feel good. And they want some of that. And if you're open and willing to share that with them, that's how you become their supply, if you're willing to tolerate it. And that's why they need supply, because they can't find it within themselves. But outside of their influence, you can heal, you can feel good again. It just takes time and it requires going no contact. But yeah. I hope this video has been good for you. If it has, you can show your support by giving it a thumbs up. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think about what I've said to you. If you are new to my channel, subscribe and click the notification bell to be notified when I go live again. And check out our TikTok, Instagram, it's Narc Survivor Coaching, X, it's Narc Survivor 18. Facebook group, it's Narc Survivor. And you can support my work as well by donating. Go to paypal.me/NarcSurvivor. John Tracy says, yes, suck you into a whirlwind. I mean, what's the rush? That's it. Because that's the whirlwind they are stuck in every day of their miserable lives. And so they want to pull you into it and watch you going through it, so that they don't have to feel alone. And especially since you're unaware of it while you're going through it, makes them feel better about themselves. So that's what this is. But yeah, check out my daily blog posts, book a one-on-one with me. Just go to the website. It is narcsurvivor.co.uk. And those of you who are wondering about Nala, she's doing fine. She's back in the UK now. And she went to the vet recently. Her kidneys are fine, no issues. But she does have a problem with her teeth, because she is getting older now. She's 8 years old. And so she may need to have some teeth out. But as long as those teeth are taken out, she will be fine. And, you know, this is completely normal at that age. I did some research about it. And it's completely normal, you know, for older cats to have their teeth removed. So she's going to be okay. She might not like it at the time while she's having these teeth removed. But it is necessary. Yeah, it has to be done. And, you know, I'm really looking forward to seeing Nara again. And I'm sure she's excited to be back on the live videos. Just like old times. Just like how we used to do it. So it's so much to look forward to on this channel. And also, I do have some ideas for some future projects, which I will be bringing onto YouTube and maybe other platforms as well. But yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you all for joining me. If you made it this far, give it a thumbs up. And I'll speak to you in another video very soon.